The East Star Apocalypse, Mayan Apocalypse expected to commence on Easter Sunday, April 21, 2019, followed by end of Maya calendar on Halloween, October 31, 2020. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Revelation 1:3. Warning: the power grid, and therefore the Internet, will likely collapse at some point prior to the end of the Maya calendar on Halloween, October 31, 2020. Aside from sharing on social media platforms, please download a PDF copy of this ebook and print it out to share with local law enforcement, family and friends in the event these things come to pass. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Arundhati Roy. 10 facts about the apocalypse and end of the Maya calendar. 1. The Maya calendar did not end on December 21, 2012, will end at a future date which has now been identified as Halloween, October 31, 2020. That being said, the apocalypse is expected to commence 559 days prior on Easter Sunday, April 21, 2019. 2. The apocalypse, which is referenced in virtually all religions, for example, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, etc., and scores of mythologies, for example, Greek, Mayan, Native American, Norse, Roman, etc., all share one thing in common: the apocalypse, or the so-called end of the world, is always preceded by a wave of never-before-seen cosmic events. 3. Since the date of April 15, 2014, there have been a total of 21 eclipses, 12 lunar and 9 solar. The unprecedented wave of eclipses are signs in the heavens to those paying attention that the apocalypse is imminent. 4. Planetary alignment transpired for 31 days starting on January 20, 2016, and ending on February 20, 2016, evidently a once-in-a-5021-year event. The Mayans intimately linked planetary alignment with the end of the Maya calendar, which is inherently astrological in nature. Ancient philosophers Cicero and Plato referred to 2016 as the great and perfect year when the planets finally align. 5. NASA has repeatedly lied, denied and tried to cover up the existence of planetary alignment by repeatedly stating there would be no planetary alignment for decades on either side of December 21, 2012. NASA trying to hide planetary alignment from humanity confirms, albeit in a de facto manner, that it was a transcendent event in time. 6. Planetary retrograde occurred on April 28, 2016, evidently a once-in-a-5021-year event. Planetary retrograde is when the planets begin to circle downward and backwards, evidently positioning themselves for the impending apocalypse. 7. The blood moon prophecy in respect to the end of days was fulfilled on September 27, 2015. Although not part of the original biblical prophecy, the first ever blood sun of our age transpired on October 16, 2017, further signaling that the apocalypse is nigh. 8. The opening of the seventh seal as foretold in the book of Revelation within the Holy Bible transpired on January 21, 2019. According to Revelations 8:1 in the Holy Bible, once the seventh seal is broken, humanity has half an hour left before the apocalypse. 9. Back on October 4, 2017, NASA published a report entitled, The Super Earth That Came Home for Dinner, which confirmed that the once hypothetical Planet 9, that is, Sears, Nibiru, Orion Nebula, Planet X, rings of Saturn, etc., has now been located within our solar system. 10. Knowing the exact date of the apocalypse and the subsequent end of the Maya calendar, the elite of the Greco-Roman Empire, which have secretly ruled the world for thousands of years, evacuated Earth for the safety of the ISS, International Space Station, on Ascension Day, May 5, 2016. We are a part of something special. It's a crack in time, a wrinkle. We dance the story to remember when things changed. Nako Bear. You are listening to part 1 of the new ebook by David Chase Taylor entitled The East Star Apocalypse, Mayan Apocalypse expected to commence on Easter Sunday, April 21, 2019, followed by end of Maya calendar on Halloween, October 31, 2020. Impending 621-day apocalypse will evidently feature 3 distinct phases: A. 559-day global blood moon-like solar eclipse starting on April 21, 2019, due to incoming Orion Nebula. B. 62-day passage of Earth through black hole-like rings of Orion Nebula starting on October 31, 2020, ultimately resulting in transcendent recreation of Earth. And C. Dawn of a New Age starting on January 1, 2021, New Year's Day. David Chase Taylor. April 15, 2019. 911 Truther.org. Earth, undisclosed location, based on breaking news, cosmic events, numerology and symbology. The apocalypse, that is, the uncovering, is expected to commence on Easter Sunday, April 21, 2019, as foretold by the Mayans of Central America, evidently triggering a 621-day recreation period of Earth. That being said, the Maya calendar is expected to end 559 days later on Halloween, October 31, 2020, roughly 8 years after the fraudulent end date of the Maya calendar on December 21, 2012. This is Judgment Day and the end of time which has been prophesied for centuries. But have no fear, the Messianic age is soon here. Although Matthew 24:26 within the Holy Bible states in respect to the end of days that, "The day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only," the apocalypse, which is curiously defined as a vision of heavenly secrets, is expected to commence on Easter Sunday, April 21, 2019. Exactly what will transpire on April 21, 2019, is obviously not known, but a prolonged version of the 3 days of darkness prophecy is expected to commence, after which Earth will be enveloped in a blood moon-like darkness due to the eerie glow of the incoming Orion Nebula, that is, Sears, Nibiru, Planet 9, Planet X, Rings of Saturn, etc. The eschatological prophecies found within the Holy Bible, Mayan glyphs, Mayan hieroglyphs and Native American lore all corroborate the notion that the apocalypse, that is, the end of days, will commence with a prolonged solar eclipse that will shock the Earth to its very core. In order to foreshadow this very phenomenon, the solar eclipse of September 1, 2016, was dubbed the Ring of Fire eclipse, while the solar eclipse of February 26, 2017, was also dubbed the Ring of Fire eclipse. Needless to say, the ominous titles foreshadow that Earth will suffer multiple rings of fire courtesy of the Orion Nebula, that is, the rings of Saturn. After a prolonged version of the 3 days of darkness prophecy commences on April 21, 2019, NASA and the European Space Agency will predictably claim that the prolonged solar eclipse is the result of a foreign cosmic entity within our solar system, for example, aliens, not the arrival of the Orion Nebula. Considering that NASA's Live Space feed went down on November 18, 2016, astronauts and scientists at the Space Center in Houston, Texas are likely now viewing a pre-recorded video feed of space, unable to see the incoming Orion Nebula in all her glory. In other words, NASA is now flying blind in respect to real-time spatial events. Although NASA stated that their high-definition Earth viewing experiment is either switching cameras, or we are experiencing a temporary loss of signal with the International Space Station, they naturally never admit to switching cameras in order to install a pre-recorded video feed of space. The notion that rogue planetary body like the Orion Nebula is headed towards Earth was confirmed back on January 25, 2016, when it was reported that Planet 9 was discovered in our solar system. NASA confirmed the discovery of Planet 9 on October 4, 2017, in their report entitled, "The Super Earth That Came Home for Dinner." The notion that the apocalypse is imminent is corroborated by the fact that there have been an unprecedented wave of 21 solar eclipses and lunar eclipses since April 15, 2014, including 7 blood moons and 1 blood sun. The blood moon and blood sun phenomena is evidently caused by the sun's rays refracting through the incoming Orion Nebula. The ominous fulfillment of the biblical blood moon prophecy on September 27, 2015, and the opening of the 7th seal in the Holy Bible on July 27, 2018, confirms, albeit in a de facto manner, that the end of days as prophesied within the Holy Bible are indeed coming to pass in our lifetime. Knowing that the apocalypse is nigh, the authors of the Holy Bible, that is, the Greco-Romans, evacuated Earth for the safety of the ISS, International Space Station, on Ascension Day, May 5, 2016, in a desperate attempt to outwit the one and only Creator and her Orion Nebula, which will finally purge Earth of the Babylon system. As depicted in the pre-apocalypse film from 2009 entitled 2012, the end of the Maya calendar triggers the long-awaited cleansing of Earth, including but not limited to a. Activation of Earth's magnetosphere, b. Earthquakes, c. Hailstorms, d. Lightning and thunderstorms, e. Mass flooding, f. Tsunamis and/or g. Volcanic eruptions. That is precisely why the astrological symbol for Sears contains both a sickle and a cross, for the Orion Nebula will cut down the evil people as she passes over Earth. Mass death via poisonous gas is also a realistic possibility, for Earth may come into contact with the atmosphere of Saturn, which is coincidentally known as a gas giant. The aforementioned events generally associated with the apocalypse and the end times will likely be triggered in part by centrifugal and gravitational forces caused by planetary syzygy. That is, when planetary bodies are yoked together, likely causing a polar shift on Earth and/or a sudden change in her vibrational frequency. The long-awaited end of the Maya calendar will evidently trigger harmonic convergence, a great shift in the Earth's energy from warlike to peaceful, ushering in a period of cleansing whereby all of the Earth's false structures of separation, for example, banking, government, religion, etc., will simultaneously collapse, forever. The notion that cosmic events will trigger a collapse of the Babylonian system here on Earth was foreshadowed back on April 23, 2016, when it was erroneously reported that Earth's magnetic field had collapsed. Although the claim was later debunked, the notion of a cosmic-induced collapse was made nonetheless. The impending global solar eclipse will initiate the long-awaited collapse of the Babylon system, triggering harmonic convergence and the birth of the fifth world. All Earthlings vibrating on a frequency of peace and love will welcome this change, while those living an ego-based life of materialism will cringe at the very notion. Harmonic convergence will evidently bring about the so-called end of history, triggering a new age of peace and love, that is, the Messianic age. Evils of the modern world, for example, capitalism, fascism, materialism, poverty, religion, slavery, terrorism, torture, war, etc., will forever cease with the birth of the fifth world. Lastly, it is imperative to note that the good people of Earth have nothing to worry about, for the dawn of a new age is imminent. As the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, there is nothing that wastes the body like worry, and one who has any faith in God should be ashamed to worry about anything whatsoever. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Carl Sagan. Cosmic Timeline, April 15, 2014, January 1, 2021. 1. April 15, 2014, First Blood Moon. 2. April 29, 2014, Solar Eclipse. 3. October 8, 2014, Second Blood Moon. 4. October 23, 2014, Solar Eclipse. 5. March 20, 2015, Solar Eclipse. 6. April 4, 2015, Third Blood Moon. 7. September 13, 2015, Solar Eclipse. 8. September 27, 2015, Fourth Blood Moon. 9. September 27, 2015, Fulfillment of Blood Moon Prophecy. 10. January 20, 2016, Planetary Alignment begins. 11. January 25, 2016, Discovery of Planet 9. 12. February 20, 2016, Planetary Alignment ends. 13. March 9, 2016, Solar Eclipse. 14. March 23, 2016, Lunar Eclipse. 15. April 23, 2016, Earth's magnetic field allegedly collapses. 16. April 28, 2016, 5 planetary retrograde. 17. September 1, 2016, Solar Eclipse. 18. August 18, 2016, Lunar Eclipse. 19. September 16, 2016, Lunar Eclipse. 20. February 11, 2017, Lunar Eclipse. 21. February 26, 2017, Solar Eclipse. 22. August 7, 2017, Lunar Eclipse. 23. August 21, 2017, Solar Eclipse. 24. October 4, 2017, NASA confirms discovery of Planet 9. 25. October 16, 2017, First Blood Sun. 26. January 31, 2018, Fifth Blood Moon. 27. July 27, 2018, Sixth Blood Moon. 28. January 6, 2019, Solar Eclipse. 29. January 21, 2019, Seventh Blood Moon. 30. January 21, 2019, Opening of Biblical Seventh Seal. 31. April 21, 2019, Start of 621-day Apocalypse. 32. October 31, 2020, End date of Maya calendar. 33. January 1, 2021, start date of New Age. Enclosed books. Book 1. Revelation Now. Book 2. The 621-Day Apocalypse, an overview. Book 3. Dates of the Apocalypse. Book 4. End date of the Maya calendar. Book 5. The 62-Day Passage of Earth. Book 6. Dawn of a New Age. Book 7. Deciphering the Maya calendar. Book 8. Deciphering the Nostradamus prophecies. Book 9. Planetary alignment of 2016. Book 10. Planetary retrograde of 2016. Book 11. The Blood Moon prophecy. Book 12. The Seven Seals prophecy. Book 13. The 3 Days of Darkness prophecy. Book 14. The Orion Nebula. Book 15. Aliases of the Orion Nebula. Book 16. Exodus to the International Space Station, ISS. Book 17. Mars, Mother of ISS, Mary, Mother of Jesus. Book 19. The Alien Invasion Hoax. Book 20. Harmonic Convergence. Book 21. The Messianic Age to Come. Book 1, Revelation Now. Chapter 1, Maya calendar did not end on December 21, 2012. According to Dr. John B. Carlson, director of the University of Maryland Center for Archaeoastronomy, the Maya calendar did not end on December 21, 2012, and there were no Mayan prophecies foretelling the end of the world on that date. In other words, the Maya calendar is ongoing and will end at a future date. The notion that the Maya calendar never ended was corroborated by an Atlantic magazine report from May 10, 2012, entitled, New Mayan Calendar Discovered That Doesn't End in 2012, which states that archaeologists have unearthed what they say is the oldest known version of the Mayan calendar which doesn't end with the Earth's destruction in 2012. The Maya calendar prophesied the end of the Fourth World and the beginning of the Fifth World, which obviously did not transpire on or around December 21, 2012, which was erroneously regarded as the end date of a 3,600-year-long cycle in the Mesoamerican long count calendar. Needless to say, the entire December 21, 2012, doomsday narrative was a Hollywood-induced hoax created by the CIA to muddy the waters in respect to the true end date of the Maya calendar. Although the Maya calendar allegedly ended on December 21, 2012, there was no cosmic climax. That is to say that the entire December 21, 2012, narrative was an epic hoax perpetrated on humanity. Since April 15, 2014, however, humanity has witnessed a wave of 21 solar and lunar eclipses. The planetary alignment of Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Saturn and Venus from January 20, 2016, until February 20, 2016, the retrograde status of 5 planets on April 28, 2016, as well as the blood sun of October 16, 2017. Needless to say, these cosmic events, taken collectively confirm, albeit in a de facto manner, that end of the Maya calendar is nigh. Since no transformative events transpired on or around December 21, 2012, it can be deduced that they will occur at a future date as foretold by the Mayans. Since the Maya calendar is inherently astrological in nature, it stands to reason that it will end with a series of astrological events, namely the arrival of what psychedelic philosopher Terence McKenna referred to as the transcendental object at the end of time, which has now been identified as the Orion Nebula, that is, Sears, Nibiru, Planet 9, Planet X, Rings of Saturn, etc. Chapter 2, The Mayan Solar Calendar. The original and true solar calendar consists of 13 28-day months starting on December 22, the day after the winter solstice of December 21, which is considered New Year's Day, not belonging to any of the 13 months. Therefore, the solar calendar is, numerically speaking, always 10 days ahead of the current Gregorian calendar. Because the solar calendar is anchored to the winter solstice of December 21, it is by definition a solar calendar. Nevertheless, the Gregorian calendar is referred to as a solar calendar, evidently because January 1, 2021 is the first day of sun in the new age. Needless to say, the draconian change from the solar calendar to the Gregorian calendar was designed to confuse the masses in respect to esoteric cosmic phenomenon. Although the Gregorian calendar was reportedly introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in October of 1582 to allegedly stop the drift of the calendar with respect to the equinoxes and solstices, The sudden change from the solar calendar to the Gregorian calendar appears to have been spawned by the discovery of the apocalypse and the subsequent start of the New Age on January 1, 2021, hence the switch to the Gregorian calendar. Despite the Greco-Roman Empire's all-edged switch to the Gregorian calendar in 1582, it appears that the actual jump from the solar calendar to the Gregorian calendar occurred 719 years prior, when the aforementioned information about the apocalypse and the subsequent end of the Maya calendar was discovered. A total of 1,300 years were then added to the Gregorian calendar, bringing us to the year of 2019. That being said, it is imperative to note that the cycle of creation within the Maya long count calendar is 13 Baktan, measuring 1,872,000 days or 5,125.366 years. Consequently, it appears that the year of 2019 is in fact the year of 5019. Although this would imply there are roughly 107 years left until the end of the Maya calendar, it appears that the apocalypse will commence in 2019, followed by the end of the Maya calendar in 2020. The 3,000-year jump from the year of 2019 to the year of 5019 is based on the fact that the number 2 reversed equates to the number 5, both of which were derived from the 19th letters, which is coincidentally found twice within the year of 2019, once numerically and once symbolically. That is, SS as in ISIS or ISS. The idiom hindsight is 2020 further suggests that the year of 2020 is in fact the last of our age. Lastly, the 13th month of the year has been entitled Zodiac, as in the cross of the zodiac, which was the physical form of the solar calendar. Naturally, it contained 13 months rather than the 12-month version employed today. Consequently, the names for the 12 respective months were likely those of the 12 astrological signs, that is, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. Chapter 3, The Great Year of 2016. In 2016, humanity experienced what is known as the Great Year in astronomy, which the iconic Greek philosopher Plato, circa 427 to 347 BC, referred to as the perfect year in which the celestial bodies, planets, and the diurnal rotation of the fixed stars, circle of the same, return to their original positions. This is precisely what transpired during the 31-day planetary alignment from January 20, 2016, until February 20, 2016. The Roman philosopher Cicero, circa 106 to 43 BC, wrote in De Natura Deorum, 45 BC, that the great year will be completed, when the sun, moon and 5 planets, having all finished their courses, have returned to the same positions relative to one another, which is evidently what transpired when Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Saturn and Venus all aligned in 2016. Chapter 4, NASA's cover-up of 2016 planetary alignment. Despite planetary alignment admittedly taking place in 2016, Donald Yeomans of NASA's Near-Earth Object Program stated in 2009 that there won't be any planetary alignments for a couple of decades on either side of 2012. Considering that NASA has calculated every solar and lunar eclipse down to the very second until the year 3000 AD, their blatant denial of planetary alignment in 2016 can only be construed as premeditated deception. The cover-up of planetary alignment was further perpetuated by a NASA report from December 22, 2012, entitled, Beyond 2012, Why the World Didn't End, which erroneously states that there are no planetary alignments in the next few decades. Again, NASA blatantly lied by stating that planetary alignment would not transpire anywhere near 2012 when it in fact commenced roughly 37 months later on January 20, 2016. That is evidently why CIA disinformation operative, John Major Jenkins, went on a global speaking tour to sell the world on the fraudulent notion that the Mayans intimately linked solar and galactic plane alignment with the end of the Maya calendar. Jenkins curiously never mentions the planetary alignment of 2016, for his job, albeit unknowingly, was to deceive the masses in respect to the true end date of the Maya calendar. To date, NASA has not published a single report online or elsewhere acknowledging, confirming or denying planetary alignment in 2016. For lack of a better analogy, it would be as if Jesus returned to Earth and the Pope said nothing. NASA did however publish a disinformation report 3 years prior on June 3, 2013, entitled, Rare Stellar Alignment Offers Opportunity to Hunt for Planets, which highlighted planetary alignment on Proxima Centauri in the years of 2014 and 2016, obviously a non-event for Earthlings. Chapter 5, Apocalyptico. The Hollywood film entitled Apocalypto, 2016, appears to be a veiled cinematic tribute to the fall of Maya Empire and the end of the Maya calendar. In short, the Greco-Roman Empire exterminated the Mayan people after they discovered that the end of the age would transpire roughly 700 years later. In other words, upon conquering the world, the Greco-Romans discovered that it was all for naught, as their empire would be destroyed by the arrival of the Orion Nebula during the apocalypse. This untold story is essentially the plot of Apocalypto. Similar to how Roman soldiers raped, pillaged and burned countless villages, cities and countries across Europe and the world, Apocalypto tells the story of Roman conquest through the eyes of Jaguar, a young Mayan. Along with his fellow tribesmen, Jaguar encounters a procession of refugees fleeing the Roman invasion of Central America. This notion is corroborated by the fact that the invading army is led by Zero Wolf, whose military attire is based on the attire of a Roman centurion. Similar to the Romans, Zero Wolf orders his men to burn the Mayan villages to the ground while rest of the adults are taken captive to be auctioned off as slaves or killed for sport by soldiers. Although Jaguar is captured, his pregnant wife Seven and their young son Turtles Run are able to escape the Roman invasion by hiding in a well-like pit cave which also serves as a water reservoir. The escape and descent into the deep well appears to be a veiled cinematic tribute to the Death Star's escape from Earth and their descent into the heart of Mars. Because the Greco-Roman Empire plans to wipe out humanity prior to the apocalypse, the film depicts villages decimated by an unknown disease. An infected girl then prophesies Zero Wolf's death and the end of the Mayan world. The prophecy appears to be a veiled reference to the death of the Greco-Roman Empire on Earth during the subsequent 62-day recreation of Earth. The film also depicts gory blood sacrifices offered up before Mayan royalty atop of a step pyramid during which a solar eclipse ensues, a phenomenon expected when the apocalypse commences. Interestingly, due to the solar eclipse and the superstitions surrounding it, Jaguar and the remaining captives are inexplicably spared from being sacrificed. The rather curious scene appears to be a veiled cinematic tribute to the hopes and dreams of the Greco-Roman Empire who wish to be spared from the impending apocalypse. In the final scene of the film, Jaguar escapes to the beach where he is shocked by the arrival of conquistador ships, that is, Roman ships, anchored off the coast with soldiers holding up a large cross making their way to shore. The final scene of the film is symbolic of the Greco-Roman Empire's return to Earth, that is, the Second Coming, in the event they are able to survive the cross or crossover of the Orion Nebula during the apocalypse. Book 2, The 621-Day Apocalypse, an overview. Chapter 6, The Blood Moon-like Apocalypse. Based on cosmic, numerological and symbolical evidence, the apocalypse will commence on April 21, 2019, and end on January 1, 2021, spanning a total of 621 days. That being said, the end of the Maya calendar is expected to commence on Halloween, October 31, 2020, after which Earth will pass through the black hole of the Orion Nebula for 62 days. Exactly what will transpire when the apocalypse commences on April 21, 2019, is not known, but it appears that all of Earth will suffer a prolonged blood moon or blood sun-like phenomenon for 559 days until the end of the Maya calendar on October 31, 2020. As evidenced in the film poster of Apocalypse Now, 1979, as well as virtually all artistic renditions of the apocalypse, a red and orange sunset-like glow is always present. Coincidentally, this eerie cosmic phenomenon was witnessed during the 7 blood moons since 2014 as well as the blood sun of October 16, 2017. Although only conjecture, it appears that this never-before-seen cosmic phenomenon is the result of the sun's rays refracting off or through the incoming Orion Nebula. Chapter 7, The 621-Day Apocalypse. Although only conjecture, it appears that the shape of the number 6, as well as the number 9, were originally derived from the discovery of the 66-like heart-shaped black hole vortex within the Orion Nebula whose arrival triggers the apocalypse here on Earth. Consequently, the 621-day apocalypse as well as the 62-day passage of Earth through the black hole of the Orion Nebula contain the number 6 and or number 9 within their respective numerology. In order to celebrate the apocalypse and subsequent recreation of Earth in an esoteric manner, the Greco-Romans created the ichthys, that is, the Christian fish symbol, which consists of 2 intersecting arcs that resembles the profile of a fish. The ichthys was reportedly used as a Christian symbol in the first decades of the 2nd century and was the first word used to describe the deity which is now referred to as Jesus Christ. Ichthys is an acronym for Asus Christos Theos Sota, Eta Sigma Omicron Sigma Chi Rho Iota Sigma Tau Sigma, Theta Epsilon Omicron Upsilon Sigma, Sigma Omega Tau Rho, meaning Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. The symbol and subsequent meaning only makes sense when it's understood that Ichthys is synonymous with Jesus, who is semantical cover for ISIS and ISS, International Space Station, which was specifically built by the Greco-Roman Empire to save them from the apocalypse, which is triggered by the heart-shaped black hole vortex within the Orion Nebula. Chapter 8. The number 69 in popular culture. Because the apocalypse is 621 days in length, it has been celebrated for centuries, albeit in a de facto manner, via the number 69, and thereby 96, due to the fact that the number 1 doubles as the letter I, which equates to the number 9. Aside from the notorious 69 sex position, the number 69 and its inherent symbology is found throughout the world, including but not limited to the Bagua, Pakua, the 8 symbols used in Taoist cosmology to represent the fundamental principles of reality, the Gangkiel, that is, Wheel of Joy, a symbol and ritual tool used in Tibetan and East Asian Buddhism, the Lorberu, Basque cross, a traditional Basque hooked cross with 4 comma-shaped heads, the Notitia Dignitatum, a document of the late Roman Empire that details the administrative organization of the Eastern and Western empires. The Tigayuk, a Korean form of the Chinese term Tchi, old spelling Tchi, meaning supreme ultimate, and the Tjatu, that is, yin and yang, a symbol containing the 69 geometry, which is referred to in modern Chinese as the divided circle, for the 621-day apocalypse divides the ages. The 69 symbology is also found within the flag of Mongolia, the flag of Sikkim, the flag of South Korea, the flag of Tibet, as well as in the flag and seal of the United States Department of Transportation. Lastly, in what appears to be a veiled human tribute to the multicolored 621-day apocalypse, 6699, pronounced 69, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and media personality who coincidentally sports rainbow-colored hair. Chapter 9. The number 666 in popular culture. Because the apocalypse is 621 days in length, it has been celebrated for centuries, albeit in a de facto manner, via the biblically infamous number 666. In short, it appears that the number 666 was derived from rudimentary multiplication and addition, in that 6 by 2 equals 66, while the number 9 equates to the letter I, which doubles as the number 1, totaling 666. In the Holy Bible, 666 is the number of the beast, for it represents victory over the apocalyptic beast. In the Textus Receptus manuscripts of the New Testament, chapter 13 17-18 within the book of Revelation cryptically asserts that 666 is man's number, or the number of a man. That is because the Greco-Roman Empire was founded by man, that is, Minos, whose line or lineage will only survive should the Greco-Roman Empire outwit the destructive force of the apocalypse. In popular culture, the number 666 has become one of the most widely recognized symbols of the Antichrist and the devil, for it represents the apocalypse when the skies turn blood red, appearing hell-like in nature. The notion that the number 666 is intimately tied to the apocalypse is corroborated by the fact that the number 666 is found within the logo of CERN, which was tasked with the development and construction of the International Space Station, that is, the Death Star, which will, in theory, enable the elite of the Greco-Roman Empire to survive the 621-day apocalypse. In China, the number 666 is considered to be lucky, meaning that everything goes smoothly, for the Greco-Roman Empire is hoping beyond hope that everything goes smoothly in their quest to outwit the destructive force of the Orion Nebula during the apocalypse. The term root, A plus T, is consonantly speaking the same as rite, A plus T, which is defined as a blood ritual or blood sacrifice which the Greco-Roman Empire itself is slated to suffer during the apocalypse. Hence the association between term root and the number 666. Veiled musical tributes to the number 666 in popular culture include but are not limited to, Route 666, A Song from My Mind's Eye, 1992, album by the Comsat Angels, Route 666, A Song on the Natural Born Killers, 1994, album by BB Tone, Route 666, 1995, an album by the Hamsters, Route 666, A Song from the End of the Beginning, 2002, album by God is an Astronaut, Route 666, 2006, an album by Hell Train, and Route 666, 2007, an album by the Iron Maidens. Veiled cinematic tributes to the number 666 in popular culture include but are not limited to, Route 666, 2001, an American horror film, Route 666, America's Scariest Home Haunts, 2007, an internet TV series, Route 666, 1991, An episode of Married with Children, Route 666, 2006, an episode of Supernatural, and Route 666, a fictional ride in the film The Machinist, 2004. The number 36, that is, 3 by 6 equals 666, is coincidentally the atomic number of Krypton, which is known in ancient Greek as Kryptos, meaning the hidden one. Although only conjecture, it appears that the fictional material known as kryptonite found primarily within Superman comics and films is a veiled artistic tribute to Krypton and the Apocalypse. This notion is corroborated by the fact that kryptonite weakens Superman and has therefore become a byword for an extraordinary weakness, synonymous with Achilles' heel. The Jewish tradition holds that the number 36 has had special significance since the beginning of time, which appears to be a veiled reference to the New Age after the Apocalypse. According to the Midrash, the light created by God on the first day of creation shone for exactly 36 hours before being replaced by the light of the sun. In the modern celebration of Hanukkah, there are 36 candles which are kindled in the menorah over the 8 days of that holiday. In one Maori legend, concerning the creation of mankind by the god Tain, 36 gods took active part in assembling the various parts of the first human before Tain breathed life into her. Lastly, in Shaivism, the 36 tattvas describe the Absolute, its internal aspects and the creation including living beings, down to the physical reality. Chapter 10. The Apocalyptic Scream. When the sun disappears and the skies turn blood red during the apocalypse, the world will emit a collective scream, beyond terrified of what is to come. This appears to have been the inspiration for the Scream, 1893, the popular name given to a painting by Norwegian artist Edvard Munch, which has become one of the most iconic images symbolizing the anxiety of the impending apocalypse. The notion that the Scream is a veiled artistic tribute to the apocalypse is corroborated by the fact that Munch claimed that the iconic painting was inspired by the sunset which suddenly turned the clouds a blood red, the very cosmic phenomenon expected during the apocalypse. In a diary ledger entitled, Nice the 22nd of January 1892, Munch reportedly stated that, I was walking along the road with 2 friends. The sun was setting, suddenly the sky turned blood red. I paused, feeling exhausted, and leaned on the fence. There was blood in tongues of fire above the blue-black fjord, and the city. My friends walked on, and I stood there trembling with anxiety, and I sensed an infinite scream passing through nature. The term an infinite scream passing through nature appears to be a veiled reference to the eerie sound of the Earth's magnetosphere being activated by the incoming Orion Nebula during the apocalypse. Chapter 11, End of the World Programming and Propaganda. Although so-called end of the world programming has tapered off since the erroneous end date of the Maya calendar on December 21, 2012, it has increased exponentially over the last few years, especially since the end of planetary alignment, which suggests that the apocalypse is in fact nigh. The notion that the so-called end of the world is imminent was foreshadowed by an independent report from June 1, 2015, which claimed that the end of mankind predicted by the Jehovah's Witnesses could happen within the year. In order to program the masses for the so-called end of the world, the heavy metal band Black Sabbath started their End Tour on January 20, 2016, the same date that planetary alignment commenced. Their tour logo coincidentally depicts a great ring of fire, which is what the arrival of the Orion Nebula, that is, Sears, Nibiru, Planet 9, Planet X, rings of Saturn, etc., will evidently look like in some capacity. In order to psychologically prepare the world for the end of the Maya calendar, the film entitled, It's Only the End of the World, 2016, debuted at the 2016 Cannes Film Festival in France on May 19, 2016. Interestingly, the poster for the film depicts a man looking toward the heavens with 2 hands covering his eyes, an apparent tribute to the impending arrival of the Orion Nebula. In order to foreshadow that the end of the world is imminent, The Independent published a report on August 20, 2016, entitled, Doom 101, North Korean Students Taught to Prepare for the End World. A day later on August 21, 2016, USA Today published a report entitled, The Great American Eclipse is a Year from Today, which was designed to foreshadow that an apocalyptic eclipse is imminent. In what appears to be a veiled warning to all of Europe that earth-changing cosmic events are imminent, it was reported on August 21, 2016, that the German government has instructed its citizens to begin storing food and water. The 69-page Doomsday Report stated, prepare appropriately for a development that could threaten our existence and cannot be categorically ruled out in the future. Roughly a month later on September 15, 2016, Time published a report entitled, Giant Moon Balloon Rolls Through Traffic in China, which highlighted a CIA publicity stunt in which an inflatable moon was erected just prior to the arrival of Typhoon Meranti. Naturally, the storm broke the tethered moon loose, invoking the notion of rogue planets just prior to the arrival of the Orion Nebula. Roughly 2 weeks later, on September 30, 2016, the Express published a report entitled, "Warning Black Moon Tonight, Astrological Event to Herald End of Days and Second Coming." Less than a year later, on September 15, 2017, Fox News published a report entitled, "Biblical Prophecy Claims the World Will End on September 23, Christian Numerologists Claim." A month later, on October 15, 2017, The Sun published a report entitled, "The End of Days. Is the End of the World Today on October 15 and What is David Meade's Planet X Conspiracy Theory?" The Blood Sun of October 16, 2017, also prompted scores of propaganda reports such as the October 16, 2016, report from the Express entitled, "End is Nigh, Social Media Panic as Blood Red Sun Rises Above UK in Terrifying Phenomenon." A few weeks later, on October 27, 2017, The Inquisitor published a report entitled, "Nibiru or Planet X Apocalypse. Global Earthquake Armageddon Will Strike on November 19, Theorists Warn." That same day, on October 27, 2017, ZME Science published a report entitled, "It's Time for Another Fake Apocalypse, the Nibiru Version." Also on October 27, 2017, The Mirror published a report entitled, "Shock Claim, Nibiru Will Cause Armageddon Next Month as Rogue Planet Triggers Series of Devastating Earthquakes." A day later, on October 28, 2017, The Washington Post published a report entitled, "Armageddon via Imaginary Planet Has Been Pushed Back, Yet Again, to November." That same day, October 28, 2017, Dunia News published a report entitled, "Nibiru to Bring Apocalyptic Earthquakes on November 19, Conspiracy Theorists." A day later, on October 29, 2017, The Express published a report entitled, "Shock Claim, Nibiru Us Being Covered Up by the Vatican." A day later, on October 30, 2017, The Nation published a report entitled, "Will the World End Next Month?" That same day, October 30, 2017, Metro published a report entitled, "Here's What's Going to Happen When Earthquake Apocalypse Hits Earth on November 19th." Also on October 30, 2017, Newsweek published a report entitled, "Doomsday Postponed for Third Time, Will the World Ever End?" Roughly a week later, on November 8, 2017, The Express published a report entitled, "Nibiru News 2017, Earthquake Armageddon to Hit Earth on November 19 Due to Nibiru Planet X." That same day, November 8, 2017, The Express published a report entitled, "Will the World End on November 19? Nibiru Expert Predicts Black Star Earthquake Cataclysm." Also on November 8, 2017, The Express published a report entitled, "The End of the World is Near, and Stephen Hawking Has Predicted How It Will Be Destroyed." 3 months later, on February 10, 2018, The Express published a report entitled, "End of the World? Nibiru to Appear in 2018 and Destroy the Planet." 2 days later, on February 14, 2018, The Express published a report entitled, "End of the World. Apocalypse to Start on April 11, Claims David Meade." Less than a week later, on April 20, 2018, The Express published a report entitled, "End of the World 2018, David Meade Breaks Silence on April 23, Apocalypse Date." In short, these reports were designed to both foreshadow the impending apocalypse as well as serve as disinformation in respect to the true date of the apocalypse. Needless to say, these reports, taken collectively, confirm, albeit in a de facto manner, that the end of the Maya calendar and subsequent apocalypse is imminent. Although these reports do not specifically mention the end of the Maya calendar, they do reference the apocalypse, the Black Planet, Doomsday, the End of Days, Planet X, Nibiru and the Second Coming. Chapter 12. Apocalyptic Music. Because we are living in the end of days, numerous artists, at the behest of the CIA, have made veiled references to the apocalypse, the Death Star and the dawn of a new age within their respective songs. Needless to say, these songs were not written by the artists which sang them but rather by members of the Greco-Roman Empire who are lamenting the fact that they will, at the very least, lose their empire, and at the very worst be exterminated via the Orion Nebula, which is evidently a black hole. Needless to say, this has them in a bitch fit, which has spawned numerous songs sung by artists who have no idea what the lyrics in their respective songs actually mean. Although there are literally thousands of these such songs, A few of the more recent and popular have been documented herein. A. Stand By Me. In the song by Benny King entitled, Stand By Me, 1961, it states, when the night has come ... and the land is dark ... no I won't be afraid ... just as long as you stand by me ... if the sky that we look upon ... should tumble and fall ... and the mountain should crumble to the sea. Watch video. The phrase when the night has come is a veiled reference to the start date of the apocalypse which will commence with a solar eclipse, hence the land being dark. The reference to being afraid is in respect to the fact that the Greco-Romans face extinction during the apocalyptic recreation of Earth, during which the sky gives way to the Orion Nebula and the mountains will crumble and fall into the sea. B. Sound of Silence. In the song by Simon and Garfunkel entitled, Sound of Silence, 1965, it states, hello darkness, my old friend ... when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light ... that split the night ... and in the naked light I saw ... 10,000 people, maybe more ... and the sign flashed out its warning ... and the sign said the words of the prophets ... are written on the subway walls. Watch video. The term darkness is a veiled reference to the apocalypse which will commence with a solar eclipse, giving way to the piercing neon light of the Orion Nebula which will split the day between the Old Age and New Age. The reference to 10,000 people is likely in respect to the elite of the Greco-Roman Empire hiding out on the Death Star or Mars, which will be at a loss for words as they witness the destruction of their empire which has been prophesied for centuries. C. Radioactive. In the song by Imagine Dragons entitled, Radioactive, 2017, it states, I'm waking up to ash and dust ... I'm breathing in the chemicals ... I'm breaking in, shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus ... This is it. The apocalypse ... Welcome to the new age, to the new age ... I raise my flags, don my clothes ... It's a revolution, I suppose. Watch video. The term breathing in the chemicals is a veiled reference to the biochemical attack and subsequent pandemic planned for humanity during the Great Tribulation prior to the apocalypse, which is also referenced in the song. The phrase checking out on the prison bus is a veiled reference to the ruling class of the Greco-Roman Empire who checked out of Earth and into the prison-like Death Star to avoid said apocalypse. The reference to the New Age is the time period which follows the revolution otherwise known as the apocalypse, after which the Greco-Romans are hoping to raise their flag in victory should they survive. D. Thunder. In the song by Imagine Dragons entitled, Thunder, 2017, it states, and wanna leave my own life behind ... I was lightning before the thunder ... Thunder, feel the thunder ... lightning and the thunder. Watch video. The phrase leave my own life behind appears to be a veiled reference to the ruling class of the Greco-Roman Empire who were forced to leave their homeland in Greenland to escape the lightning and the thunder inherent to the recreation of Earth during the apocalypse, which is triggered by the Orion Nebula. E. Dusk Till Dawn. In the song by Zayn entitled, Dusk Till Dawn, 2017, it states ... Tell me how you choose ... Can you feel it through ... all the windows ... inside this room ... I wanna see the sunrise and your sins ... light it up, on the run ... I'll be with you from dusk till dawn ... I'll hold you when things go wrong. See video. The reference to choosing is the dilemma of the Greco-Roman Empire in abandoning their empire for the safety of the Death Star during the apocalypse. The Death Star has thousands of windows, hence the reference. The sunrise reference is to the dawn of a new age after the apocalypse, which is caused by the disk shape of the Orion Nebula, which is dusk-colored, both of which are referenced in the title of the song, albeit in a veiled manner. The phrase light it up, on the run is evidently a veiled reference to blowing up the world while on the run from the apocalypse, a notion which the Greco-Romans believe will give them a better chance of surviving the apocalypse. The reference to things going wrong is the very real possibility that the Death Star will be destroyed during the apocalypse. F. Whatever It Takes. In the song by Imagine Dragons entitled, Whatever It Takes, 2017, it states, falling too fast to prepare for this ... dripping in the world could be dangerous ... everybody waiting for the fall of man ... everybody praying for the end of times ... I do whatever it takes ... cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Watch video. The phrase falling too fast to prepare for this appears to be a reference to last-minute preparations on the Death Star in a desperate attempt to survive the apocalypse. The reference to the fall of man and the end of times appear to be semantical tributes to the fall of man during the end of times, that is, apocalypse, in that the Greco-Romans are hoping to fool God by evacuating Earth for the safety of the Death Star during the apocalypse, essentially enabling their empire to have eternal life. Needless to say, doing whatever it takes is a reference to the quest of the Greco-Romans to live past the apocalypse by any means necessary. In the event they do so, they will break the chains which have bound them for over 700 years after they found out from the Mayans that their empire would be exterminated by the Orion Nebula during the apocalypse.